What's going on, everyone? I got two ETF I wanted to compare today and see which one is better and my criterias. So, here's the thing. Let's say you are trying to look at ETF and find which one you want to invest, but you do not know which one, how to compare, which one to pick. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the basic breakdown, what to look at, what you should decide, and how you should look at it in the long term. Now, this video is just the basic how to compare. So which one is better, SCHD or SCHG? Yes, these are both Charles Schwab's out. They're fairly similar, but I want to show you how to compare and which one will be best, and also put it in a calculator to see over time what they will do. And we're going to use a 10-year for this so that we can see, hey, this one might have a possibly better outcome or which one shouldn't. Now, I'm also going to break down what to look on the inside of it to see if you're diversifying or if it's even worth getting. So let's get into this video and first look at SCHG and do a side-by-side comparison on them so that we can see which one's better to have. Now, at the end of the day, whatever one you decide is that'll work for you, it's fine. Because I pull them side by side so we can look at them. And the first thing you want to look at for my due diligence is how much is the expense ratio. This is pretty important to look at to see how much you're paying year over year. So the expense ratio for SCHD is 0.06%, very low expense ratio, and compare this to SCHD, 0.35%. Now, some of y'all will say, oh, that's not a big difference. Yes, it's not a big difference, but some ETF charge you 1%, 4%, 10%, and this is where you have to compare. Just because the growth of the company is better overall, they might be charging you more in expense ratio. And SCHD, I'm sorry, is 0.04% compared to 0.06%. So which one has a cheaper expense ratio? The winner is SCHG. So that's the first thing I look at is what's the expense ratio. And the second thing I look at is, do they perform well, and compare them side by side. So SCHD versus SCHG is 1 year to date, or let's look at the 1 year and compare them. Well, SCHD is in the negative compared to SCHG. So right there, 4% or 14% gain versus a negative 4.25%. But we remember, we do long term. So 3 years, 8.9% for SCHD and 126% for SCHG. So let's move to 5 years. And it's 27.13% for SCHD and 110% for SCHG. And now lastly, let's look at the max to see, and 224% compared to 909%. So overall performance, which one does better? According to the chart, SCHG. So that's 2 out of the 3 things or I look at. And now I do look at the dividend, and the dividend payout for SCHD is better at 3.73% compared to the dividend yield at 0.35%. So if you're looking for dividend payment, which right now we're not really looking, we're just looking at which one is be better pick overall, not really looking at dividend, but this does matter to some people. Now, the other thing you have to look at is what each profile does. So SCHD, what they do is they seek funds to track closely as possible for the Dow Jones US Large Cap Growth Total Stock Index. So It invests in at least 90% of this asset in stocks, including the underlying index. So it follows the Dow Jones US large stock or large cap. So this is what you have to compare. Do you want to be in large cap company, or what are you looking at? And here's the thing. The SCHD fund seeks to track the total Dow Jones dividend 100 index funds. So this is looking for dividend payout. So is it fair to compare them? Well, it depends. Do you want dividend payment or not? So at the end of the day, which one's better? Well, hold up. We have to see what they are invested in, because maybe you have a bunch of these stocks. So let's look at the holdings. So the holding is different. So this is where you have to compare. Do you want to have these stocks in your portfolio? Because you are buying this ETF and you're comparing. So this ETF looks like it's copying the index fund. So it has NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, AVGO, Tesla, Alphabet, Meta, and Alphabet. So, and Lilly. So this is a stock for growth. So you understand this is made for different, but guess what? It's very heavy in tech stocks. Let's say you own a bunch of these stocks individually. Is it worth adding this? No, because you're not really diversifying. You are double dipping or putting both and all of it in one basket. They just diversify all in tech. Maybe you don't want to be in tech, and this is what you have to look at. Now, what does SCHD have? They're a little more diverse. They have Cisco, AMGN, AbbVie, MRK, Lockheed Martin, Coca-Cola, Chevron, Pepsi, and BMY. So they're more diverse. So overall, which one's better? It depends if you want dividend or growth. Now, at the end of the day, we need to look at what's going to happen if we invest in this company in the long run, 5 years. So let's go down here. They have a calculator. I like to do a $5,000 and do a 5-year return. It says it'll give me about $10,000. And we compare it over here to see which one will perform better in 5 years. And this is so you can compare it. 5 years, and it'll give you $7,000 in 5 years without investing anything else. So which one's better? For growth wise, SCHG. This is how the basic, how you can compare it. Yes, you can compare all the what is the investors doing, what they're doing with it. But this video is for the basic, so you do not have to overcomplicate it. The thing about investing in ETFs and stocks, you want to keep it simple. When you complicate things, it just gives you stress. And at the end of the day, you are buying an ETF and trusting them to manage your portfolio for you. That's what you're doing when you're buying an ETF. So, that being said, SCHG is better for you if you are looking for long-term performance. If you're looking to get paid out in dividend now, SCHD is better because they have a higher dividend yield. Now that you know that, hey, let's look at the performance and the ranking. And now I'm doing all this in MSN, and this is the final thing I look at. And it tells you here, and you can compare it. An easy way to do it. 1 year, it has 1.5% compared to 3.27%. Or 1 month. A year to date, 17% compared to 0.97%. So at the end of the day, if you're doing performance compared to performance, SCHG is better. And that's the one I would recommend you to buy if you had to choose one of them. Just because I'm looking for the long term and not the dividend payment now. And that's all I got for you. Like and subscribe to my video.